So you're moving to Arizona, you don't know where to live, you're thinking about the Phoenix area, but you're not sure what part is right for you. Well, today I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about getting around in the Phoenix metro area. It will help you eliminate some places that probably won't work for you. Today we're going to look at a map of Phoenix. We're going to go over some of the roads and highways, some of the best suburbs, the pros and cons of living here. My name is Michael Smith. I'm a real estate agent in the greater Phoenix area, Scottsdale and Paradise Valley. Even though I wasn't born in Arizona, I choose to make it my home. So let's go take a look at the map and pick out some of the best places to live in Arizona. So right now I'm going to show you a basic map of Phoenix. I'm going through our MLS system right now. And the one thing that you have to do when you look at the greater Phoenix area is see where it's located on the map relative to the rest of the state. But in general, you have Tucson down here to the south, and then you go into Mexico, and this is the Phoenix area. So we're going to scroll in on the Phoenix area, and we're going to see some of the more popular places and how to get in and out and around the greater Phoenix area. Number one, you have the I-17. It dead ends at Phoenix, and then it goes up north into Flagstaff and then up in towards the Utah area. You have the I-10, which is a federal highway. The one thing that's strange about the I-10 coming through the greater Phoenix area for me is the fact that it says you're going east, and then once you come into the city of Phoenix, it actually goes what I would consider south toward Tucson, but they call it east. And then it continues on down south, and then it starts to branch east, and then it heads over toward Texas. Now, then you have the 8 right down here south of town, and that'll take you right over to San Diego, California, right in here. And you can see the 10 up here will take you right into the Los Angeles area. So those are our two main areas, and where most of the traffic's coming in from California is going to be on the I-10. Now, over the past few years, what they did around the 10 is they tried to make it bypass downtown Phoenix because you had all the trucks that were coming right into downtown Phoenix. It was a bad traffic mess. So now they built this new 202 loop, and then you can hit the 10 right here and continue on south. So now, what are some of the bigger suburbs or more popular suburbs in and around Phoenix? Well, the first thing is you have the freeway system that's built in Arizona to get people around. On the Southeast Valley here, and that's what we call the Southeast Valley, you have the 60 right here, and then you have the South 202 loop right here. Now, this is an expansion right here. This is a new section of the South 202 loop, and the area that's really growing is right down here. Is called Laveen. So Laveen is going to be one of our big areas. Now, in this part of Phoenix, you're going to have a lot of industrial stuff because the 10 comes in and brings the trucks in, and you're going to have a lot of industrial things like Amazon and some other big businesses here. But we're really getting a lot of infill with Laveen right here. Now, the advantage of downtown right now is the fact that you can get on the 202 and you can go south to Chandler, Gilbert, Mesa, some of the east suburbs, or you can get into Phoenix really easy if you need to. Now, don't get me wrong, the traffic in downtown Phoenix is going to be really hectic coming through here, and there's a big bottleneck all the time. Now, from Phoenix, you can go up straight north on the I-17, and it's going to take you to the upper loop. You have over here the 101 freeway. You can see the 101 freeway pretty much goes from the 10 all the way up into the north suburbs on the west side and the east side. Now, when you move here, we're going to call things the west side and the east side for the most part. So downtown in Phoenix, Phoenix was built on a grid system, and right downtown, you have Central Avenue that runs north and south. Everything that goes to the east is a street. Everything that goes to the west is an avenue. So if I had an address that had a street, I would know that it's east of downtown. If it was an avenue, I would know it's west of downtown. Now, downtown Phoenix is not a really vibrant area, though they are reviving it. There's a lot of people that work downtown Phoenix or work in downtown Phoenix, and they commute. They would commute in during the day, and at night they would leave. So Phoenix is doing a lot of things downtown right now to try to get more people living down there, and some parts of downtown Phoenix are more affordable. There's a lot of little neighborhoods in downtown Phoenix right here that are very popular places to live. A lot of the homes were built in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and a lot of little neighborhoods are historic districts in the downtown area, like the Coronado area, Midtown, Uptown, and so on. Now, we want to scroll out a little bit to look at some of the most popular suburbs. The most important thing to start with is, where are you going to be working? Because if you're going to be working somewhere, most likely you're going to need to find a place to live close to work or within an hour's drive, so to speak. Now, depending on where you're coming from and how much traffic you're used to, you're going to find Phoenix's traffic has grown a lot in the last few years as the population has increased. But in general, let me scroll this down a little bit for you just to see. The suburbs out here, one of the most popular suburbs that we have is Chandler and Gilbert down out here. Now, most people from Chandler and Gilbert are not going to do any work over on the west or northwest side of town. Anybody that lives in this area right here is most likely going to try to find a job and work within this loop right out here, or commute to downtown Phoenix. But during peak traffic times, it could take you 45 minutes to an hour to get downtown Phoenix if you had to work in the downtown area. If you had to work on the West Valley, and again, you could just generalize and say it's west of the I-17, then you could take the 202 freeway and come up into town this way. But the most important thing you need to do is you need to go and do a Google map and look at how long the commute is going to be from where you are living to where you're working. Most people would stick around the loop that they live in. Now, one of our more popular suburbs right now is Queen Creek, and this is a really growing area down here. The disadvantage of Queen Creek is there's no real direct routes to get over to the I-10. So if you were commuting down through the I-10, there's no way to get easily over here. But there's a lot of new homes being built out here, and they're going to do some more expansion. Now, they can commute up into Chandler and Gilbert, and some may even commute up into Mesa. But again, do your commute times from Queen Creek. That is one of our most growing suburbs. Right in here in Laveen again is one of our most growing areas because of its proximity to Phoenix. Another big area over here is Goodyear. Goodyear is west of downtown, and then Buckeye out here. So a lot of people will commute from Buckeye, hop on the I-10, and head into Phoenix. Now, a lot of the new construction that you're seeing right now is happening in these further out areas of Buckeye, Queen Creek, and then up on the north here, the Peoria area, which Peoria goes up a little bit further to the north. In this new loop we have out here called the 303, where Sun City is and Sun City West, a lot of infill in here is where a lot of people are living. So kind of take this loop from the I-17 over to the 303 down to the I-10. In this loop, some people would work and live and stay in this area, but they would probably most likely never go over to these areas. Scottsdale is a really popular place to live in the valley. It's right here. It's really fairly close to downtown Phoenix. The one thing about Scottsdale is it's not really all that wide. It's basically north-south more than anything. I could put an overlay on the cities, but it's the colors are going to probably screw things up a little bit. But you can see right here, here's Scottsdale. Now, our wealthiest area that we have is Paradise Valley, which is right in here. And the reason it's so popular is it's mostly all residential homes on 1 acre or larger, but it borders Scottsdale. And here's our major shopping area, Fashion Square Mall. Excuse me. It also borders Phoenix, and some of Phoenix's nicest areas are right in here in the Arcadia area. And one of the reasons it's so popular is because of the schools, but also you have the mountain ranges right around in here. And Paradise Valley is all around Camelback Mountain and some of the other mountain ranges in town. If I scroll out, you can see some of these other areas and cities. Now, Glendale is one of our popular areas, and what made that more popular is right over here on the I-10, they built the Phoenix Cardinal Stadium. They had a lot of farmland over here, and they did a lot of infill. Now you can see how strange the cities are arranged or organized. Glendale comes all the way down here, almost to the I-10, but yet it goes up further north to the north end of the 101 freeway. So that's a pretty big area for Glendale to be spread out. And then we have another big area is Surprise out here. And again, because of the freeway system, the 303, Surprise is growing quite a bit. And again, access to the freeway is what's important to a lot of people. Now in Sun City right here, you're not going to have a lot of people commuting for work or anything. And this is the original Sun City area right here. If I scroll out a little bit, you can see these areas. Now, Peoria, right in here, Peoria is one of the more growing areas, and that's incorporated up into Taiwan Semiconductor. And again, look at, if you said, well, I want to live in Peoria, you're close to Glendale, but Peoria skirts all the way up in here further north. You can see Surprise over here, and this is called the Northwest Valley right in here. Now, one of the most popular areas is closer into the freeway right here, and that's called the Arrowhead area. It's got some nice shopping. It's a really nice there's some nice communities with some lakes and stuff like that. And then out here on the I-10, Litchfield Park right here is another popular area. Now you can see the size of the cities right here. Gilbert, Chandler, Queen Creek. Again, these are some of our most popular cities. And the growth is happening down here into the Santan Valley. So a lot of our growth is going south and west, and then up here in the Northwest Valley. So most people around the greater Phoenix area want to live somewhat near to where they can get to this freeway system. And most of the people over here are never going to come over here. And most of the people over here are never going to come over here. So you just have to decide on what part of the valley you're going to work in, and then you can figure out where you need to look for homes. There's a lot of new construction in what they call East Mesa, again, heading out toward the freeway. Now, Apache Junction is a beautiful area out here. There's a lot of mountain views and stuff like that. But if you have to commute, the 60 is literally bumper to bumper every morning, bringing people in. And in North Scottsdale up here, it's a big employment center with the Scottsdale Air Park, so a lot of people are going to be coming in and commuting here. Now, a lot of the traffic in the mornings is going to be coming in from the West Valley towards the East Valley, and then a lot of the truck traffic is coming in from the I-10, and then all these people that live out in Buckeye and Goodyear and some of these areas, which are newer areas that are really growing, they're going to be heading in toward the Phoenix area. So it's a lot of traffic coming in from here to here. The I-17 will have traffic, and there's even people that live up at the northern end of the 101 loop up here and commute all the way to downtown Phoenix, but since it's a straight shot, they're willing to do it. For the most part, nobody in the Phoenix Valley is going to spend 2 hours in their car commuting to work. There's too many places to live. In our next video, we're going to talk about some of the most popular cities in the greater Phoenix area in a little more detail about them. So number 1 is Chandler, Scottsdale, Tempe, which is where ASU is located, Gilbert, downtown Phoenix, Queen Creek, Peoria, Cave Creek, Fountain Hills, and Glendale. And then don't forget to take a look at our blog. We write articles every single week, literally almost every single day. I write an article, and we have a lot of good information here. We have a blog on the best cities, picking homes, new construction, tips for new construction, navigating the real estate market here, preparing for a move. Our website address is www.soldbysmitty.com. We have a lot of great information and, again, tons of blogs here on the do's and don'ts of the loan process, what's driving people away from the Phoenix market. That's something you might want to read. These are all really short reads, so just take a look at our website again at www.soldbysmitty.com. So I hope that gives you some basic information about getting around in the greater Phoenix area. Every single suburb is going to have pros and cons, and we'll go over that in one of our other videos. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We have people calling us all the time. A lot of people come into the Phoenix area and they have no idea where they want to live. Basically, you're going to look at your commute times, you're going to look at affordability and what you can afford, and your lifestyle and what's most important to you. Thanks for tuning in today. Take a look at some of our other videos and have a great day.